So I'm here with Romi Carriere, who took part in the Diversity Works support program back in May 2020 at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. For a bit of context, that was a 6-week program that had 3 weeks of mindset and resilience, self-reflection and coaching before we split up into one of three separate professional development tracks, one on personal finances, one on managing life at home, and the one that Romi did, which was all about boosting employability skills. So Romi's very kindly given me some time today to catch up in towards the end of 2021 as to where she is now and what that program meant to her. So welcome, Romi. Thank you for joining me.
Hi again. Thanks for having me.
So tell me all about, if we can jump back to that time, it seems like a lifetime ago, but what
Yeah.
was going on for you? Where were you at in your world, geographically and professionally, personally, the whole thing?
So, in the beginning, I was a PhD student. Well, I still kind of am, but was sent home to the US. So I'm originally from Washington, D.C. area. So I was catapulted back home and told, hey, sit tight. Your PhD's kind of put on pause. And of course, that was a very stressful thing because I was at the end of my PhD at that time. And um, or I thought was the end, and I didn't finish. And of course, that came with a lot of stress, a lot of pain, because PhDs are a long process. It's about resilience, and when you don't finish, it's kind of deflating. So I was at home in the States when I was introduced to the Diversity Works program. And I think my first approach was, okay, I'm not done with my PhD, but I do want to get a job afterwards. And how do I go about that? What I did not expect from Diversity Works was that first 3 weeks of that reflection, that mindfulness, that just kind of looking at yourself as a whole human. And I really appreciated that, especially during the pandemic, because a lot of people kind of felt lost and, um, how do I say, not sure what was going to happen with their life because the pandemic was, well, we were a month in and it was so fresh. And I think one of the things that those first 3 weeks really gave me was that self-confidence to keep going, even though all these challenges have been presented, and there will continue to be challenges as the pandemic rolled on and as life rolled on and things changed and lockdowns happened and lockdowns came out. It was a big reflection on me as a human being, even before the pandemic. And I really appreciated that first 3 weeks. Like I said, the next 3 weeks were about career development. Yes, it built me, but I feel like the most profound part about being involved in this was the first 3 weeks. And um, it still sticks with me. It helped me with applications. It helped me with boosting my self confidence when things weren't always perfect. Like I was saying, I if it weren't for that program, I wouldn't take the time to do certain things. For example, I never used to write a cover letter. I would, but it would be a very generic statement and it wouldn't be tailored or curtailed to that job. So I'm not surprised that sometimes my resume was overlooked. And now that it always, this program literally taught me how to write a cover letter to curtail to every job that you looked at, and how to adjust your resume, and how to even adjust your LinkedIn. There were certain things that I had on my LinkedIn that were not helpful in my overall professional development, and I really found like a good adjustment. And I feel like that catapulted me into now, which I'm still in the UK, which I'm happy about. But I've also gotten a job through a lot of struggle and strife and finished my PhD, which I'm happy about. And all of that has come into fruition into this, where now I'm working in the industry that I want to work in. I'm not just finding a job to do whatever until I can find the job in the industry that I want to work in. I'm really happy that Diversity Works really introduced a way, especially as an ethnic minority and as an immigrant. It's all of these challenges were just put into perspective for everyone there. And I really valued that. So, yeah.
Had you ever had a chance to take some space to think about your own well-being and just take a pause and take a step back before?
No. And as a PhD student, I don't think you get the chance. As a student in general, it doesn't matter if you're in your PhD or not. Um, Sometimes it's just go, 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 go. I'm from a society in America where it's every day is go, 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 go. And you're worried about tomorrow, you're worried about the next day, and you never really sit down and say, how do I feel about all of this? Where am I going with this? What is my end goal? Never put it into that perspective. It was always about, what do you need to do to pay the bills? And realistically, it's paying the bills too, but is this helping me mentally? Is this good for my career development? And that's really what it was at that time.
What would you say to someone else who's struggling with their career or their sense of value in a professional sense, if they were being guided towards doing a bit of reflective work on themselves?
I'd say to do it. I think it wasn't always easy to sit down and reflect, but when you did it, you're like, oh, this is where my challenges lie. This is probably how I need to adjust it. And adjustment is really hard. Um, it's not easy. I'm saying to do it in terms of actually sitting down and reflecting, because it's easy to write things down on a piece of paper and forget it. But really stepping back and saying, hey, what is going on in my life? Am I in a place that I feel that I can move on or move forward? It's a hard thing to do. And I feel like the pandemic was a blessing in disguise in terms of that, where you really had to sit down. You had no choice. But sitting down and reflecting really helped shape my own self-confidence and my own and not question my own self-worth as much as look at my self-worth. What do I bring to the metaphorical table? So yeah.
So fast forward to where we are now at the end of 2021. How,
Mhm.
where are you at now with your career, and how do you think that that pause and that opportunity that you took for yourself, and congratulations by the way for taking that step, it's very courageous to take that
Yeah.
pause. How do you think that has manifested into your career success now?
So I have gotten a postdoctoral position at Newcastle University. It is an epidemic. I'm like a lead data scientist, which I did not. Lead data scientist was just not in my thought process a year ago. I thought, oh, I'll just get a random just job and not be a leader. I'll just be a little worker in my little corner. But given that title, really catapulted me into a position where I can make valuable decisions for other people, not just myself. As an epidemiologist, this pandemic has really brought out a lot of epidemiological work, and just understanding how your work impacts so many people at the same time has been a real big thing. Catapult At the end of this year, I thought, oh yeah, I'll just be done with my PhD. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But um looking at the past year, I have really put myself in a position where I can confidently apply, um, which I didn't before, or I waited till the very end to apply for things, but I can confidently apply even during my schooling. I think that taught me a lot of good things in there, and also just self confidence. Even like I said, even when I didn't get a job opportunity, I was like, okay, this is just not meant for me right now. I always ask for feedback from my interviewers, which not everybody did that, but the people that did gave very impactful feedback. Some even have come back to me and continue to network. So it's just been an interesting experience in that. So yeah.
Well done. Well, it's amazing to hear what 6 weeks, which is not a long time, but six
Right.
weeks of a 6 week program has done for you
Mhm.
personally and professionally. And I want to thank you for being an incredible success story and
Thank
part of the
you.
legacy of a
Yeah.
positive legacy of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Um, Romy, I wish you well in
Thank
everything
you.
you do in the future. I hope we cross paths not on Zoom at some point, and
Yes.
I can shake your hand and wish you well. So
Thank
thank
you.
you again, Romy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.